Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe these are the type of imitation firearm that you can be imprisoned for. What the government need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to be clear, be specific on the type of imitation firearms that you can go to prison for. You can get 15-year imprisonment for. I don't believe these are the type of firearm. Reason why? Ladies, imitation firearm I'm talking about. You know, water gun, as you call it. These are not the type of weapons I believe that the government can send you to prison for. Reason why I say that? You have some imitation firearm that looks like the real firearm. Ladies and gentlemen, some of them are black and yes, they can fire like a real firearm, but instead of firing bullets, they fire like they make sounds. They make sounds. I remember that I used to have one of them. I used to have one of those imitation firearm that, you know, you put something, you open it just like how you'd open a real firearm, and you load it with some things, and when you press the trigger, it makes a sound like a real firearm. And also you have some of them, ladies and gentlemen, that it's only by when you won't know that it's an imitation firearm, and persons have been using those type of firearm to commit crime, to rob people and all of that, because persons seen it, ladies and gentlemen, thinking that it's a real firearm. And I do believe those are the type of firearm, imitation firearm, that you can get 15 years in prison for. I do believe that the government need to explain it to people, need to be clear, need to tell you that water guns, these plastic water guns here, these are not the type they are talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And you have some other big type that comes in multiple colors, that you have this big water bottle thing on that you use and you play, that children used to play with. I don't believe those are the type of imitation firearms that the government will send you to prison for. What they will send you to prison for is an imitation firearm that looks like real firearm. These don't look like real firearm. And how many persons you can rob with these? You can rob anybody with these, because everybody is going to know that these are plastics and these can't do anything to you. But there are some imitation firearms that look just like the real firearm, and I do believe those are the ones that the government is talking about. Mr. Holness, or the Honorable Security Minister, I think you need to explain this thing correctly to the people, so that the people can understand that, listen me, it's not these type of imitation firearm you're talking about. These are not these you're talking about. You're talking about the ones that look like real firearm. Those are the ones people using to commit crime. Nobody have ever used these type of firearm to commit crime. It's not possible, ladies and gentlemen, because once person see these, they're gonna know it's plastic. But you have some ones that look exactly like the real firearm. I do believe those are the ones the government is talking about. They should make it clear, ladies and gentlemen. They should be specific on what they are saying, so that you know, you don't scare people. I mean, 15 years for these, I don't believe that these are what the government is talking. But I do believe the government need to explain themselves properly and let the people know that it's not all type of imitation firearm you're talking. You're talking about the ones that look like the real firearm. Those are the ones you're talking about, not these. Not these. Who can commit robbery with these? You know? It's the ones that look like the real firearm. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we think we need the government to do is explain themselves properly, so that they do not lead people into confusion. Okay?